How many times have you told yourself this year will be different? How many times have you written down resolutions, made promises, set goals only to find yourself in the exact same place a year later? The calendar changed, the months passed, but your life's still stuck, still waiting. And the most painful part, deep inside, you know it, you feel it. That frustration, that regret, that sinking feeling that another year slipped through your fingers wasted. Not this time. This is the year everything changes. This is the year you stop living in delay, stop waiting for the right time, stop making excuses for why you're not where you want to be. Because let's be brutally honest, how many more years are you going to let pass by before you start truly living? How much longer are you going to stay trapped in the same routine, the same fears, the same distractions that have been stealing your life away year after year? The truth is, life doesn't wait for you. Your dreams, they don't wait. Your purpose, it doesn't wait. Your potential, it doesn't wait. And neither should you. So today, right now, you make a decision, a real decision, not a hopeful wish, not a passive maybe this time, a decision with weight, a decision with fire, a decision that says, I will not waste another year of my life. You tell yourself that you'll start when the time is right. You convince yourself that you just need a little more preparation, a little more confidence, a little more certainty before you begin. But what happens? Weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and before you know it, nothing has changed. The idea of waiting for the perfect moment is one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. It feels logical, it feels safe, but in reality, it's a trap that keeps you stuck in the same cycle of procrastination and regret. Most people live in a constant state of postponement. They have dreams, goals, and ambitions, but instead of taking action, they find reasons to delay. They say they will start once they feel ready, but readiness never comes. They say they will make a move when the conditions are perfect, but perfection never arrives. What they don't realize is that time is slipping away. And every moment they wait is a moment they will never get back. The truth is, the people who succeed in life are not the ones who wait for the perfect opportunity. They are the ones who create opportunities by taking action, even when they feel unprepared. They understand that waiting only leads to stagnation, and that progress is only made when you step forward, even if you're unsure of the path ahead. The difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is not talent, luck, or intelligence. It's the ability to move forward despite uncertainty. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people fall into the trap of delay. They are afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of making mistakes. But fear will always be there. The only way to overcome it is by acting in spite of it. The more you wait, the stronger fear becomes. It builds up in your mind, making the task seem bigger, the challenge seem harder, and the goal seem further away. But once you take action, even a small step, you break the cycle of fear and momentum begins to build. Another major reason people delay is because they underestimate the power of starting small. They believe they need to have everything figured out before they begin. They think they need all the resources, all the knowledge, all the experience before they can take the first step. But that's not how success works. Every great achievement begins with a simple action. Every successful person started from zero. They didn't wait until they were experts. They became experts by starting. Perfectionism is another illusion that keeps people trapped. They tell themselves they need everything to be just right before they move forward. They convince themselves that they can't start unless they have all the answers. But the pursuit of perfection often leads to paralysis. The truth is, nothing will ever be perfect. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and uncertainties. The key is to start anyway and improve along the way. Those who wait for perfection never begin. And those who begin despite imperfection are the ones who eventually reach success. The sad reality is that most people only realize they have wasted years of their life when it's too late. They look back and wish they had started sooner. They regret the opportunities they let slip away. They wonder what could have been if they had just taken action instead of waiting. And by the time they come to this realization, they are left with nothing but regret. The only way to avoid this painful truth is to take control of your actions now. It's easy to believe that you have plenty of time. It's easy to convince yourself that you can start tomorrow, next week, or next year. But the hard truth is, time is running out. Every day that passes is a day you will never get back. If you don't take action now, you will wake up one day wondering where all the time went. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free from the cycle of delay. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be completely ready. You just need to take the first step. Most people spend their entire lives trapped inside an invisible cage, one they have built around themselves without even realizing it. It's a place of comfort, familiarity, and predictability. It feels safe because there are no risks, no challenges, and no discomfort. But what they don't see is that this so-called safety is actually a prison, a silent thief that robs them of growth, progress, and fulfillment. The comfort zone is the most dangerous place to be because it gives the illusion of security while secretly keeping you stuck, slowly killing your potential, and making sure you never experience the life you were meant to live. The reason most people never break free is because they have conditioned themselves to avoid discomfort at all costs. They fear change, they fear struggle, they fear uncertainty. And so they stay exactly where they are, doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, and following the same routines. They don't push themselves because pushing means effort, and effort means struggle. They don't chase their dreams because chasing means risk, and risk means failure. So they settle for what's easy, what's convenient, what's comfortable. But the price of comfort is regret. And it's a price that far too many people end up paying when they look back at their lives and realize they never truly lived. The truth is, everything you want exists outside of your comfort zone. Growth does not happen where things are easy. Strength is not built in moments of convenience. Success is never found in safety. The greatest achievements, the most rewarding experiences, and the most fulfilling lives are created by those who are willing to step into the unknown, who are willing to face discomfort, who are willing to embrace the struggle that comes with true progress. The problem is, most people will do everything in their power to avoid that struggle. They will stay in the same job even though they hate it. They will stay in the same routine even though it brings them no joy. They will stay in the same mindset even though it keeps them small. Not because they are incapable of change, but because change is uncomfortable, and discomfort is something they have been taught to run from. But what if discomfort wasn't something to fear? What if discomfort was actually the key to everything you've ever wanted? What if the pain of stepping outside your comfort zone was not a signal to stop, but a sign that you are on the right path? Think about the moments in life when you grew the most, when you became stronger, when you transformed into a better version of yourself. Were those moments easy? Or were they filled with challenge, uncertainty, and struggle? Growth is always uncomfortable. It forces you to stretch beyond what you think you are capable of. It challenges you to face the parts of yourself that need to change. It demands that you rise above your fears, your doubts, and your excuses. That is why so few people ever truly grow, because it requires them to do what is difficult, and most people are not willing to go through that process. The greatest mistake you can make is believing that comfort is happiness. Comfort is not happiness. Comfort is numbness. It keeps you from feeling the highs and lows of life. It keeps you from experiencing the exhilaration of overcoming challenges. It keeps you from becoming the person you were meant to be. The happiest, most fulfilled people in the world are not those who live the easiest lives. They are those who dared to struggle, who dared to fail, who dared to break free from the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. You must decide what matters more to you: temporary comfort or long-term fulfillment. Do you want to look back on your life and be proud of the risks you took, the challenges you faced, and the obstacles you overcame? Or do you want to be filled with regret, knowing that you played it safe, that you never truly pushed yourself, that you let fear and comfort keep you small? The choice is yours, but know this: the more you resist discomfort, the more you resist growth. And the more you resist growth, the more you remain trapped in a life that never reaches its full potential. Every single day that passes is a day you will never get back. Yet most people live as if they have an unlimited supply of time. They wake up, go through the same routine, make the same excuses, and push their dreams further into the future, believing that they will always have another chance. But life does not work that way. The truth is, Time is the most valuable resource you have. And once it's gone, there is no way to earn it back. Unlike money, which can be regained, or opportunities, which can sometimes come again, lost time is lost forever. And the most painful realization people have is when they look back at their lives and see how much of it they have wasted. Most people don't recognize the cost of wasted time while they are wasting it. They tell themselves that they'll start tomorrow, next week, next year. They tell themselves that they'll pursue their dreams when things are easier, when they have more energy, when they feel ready. But time does not wait for readiness. It moves forward whether you are prepared or not. It does not pause for fear. It does not slow down for hesitation, and it does not stop for doubt. The brutal reality is that if you don't take control of your time now, one day you will wake up and realize that your best years are behind you, that you have spent your life in the same patterns, and that you have run out of time to do what you were meant to do. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It is the weight of knowing that you could have done more, that you could have been more, but that you allowed distractions, excuses, and fear to hold you back. It is the pain of seeing others move forward while you remain in the same place. It is the realization that the opportunities you once had are no longer available, that the dreams you once had have faded, that the potential you once had has been wasted. The saddest part is that regret does not come all at once. It builds slowly over time. Every year that passes without change adds another layer to it. The longer you stay stuck, the heavier the regret becomes. And by the time most people realize this, it is too late. There are countless people in the world who had dreams but never pursued them. People who wanted to write a book but never started. People who wanted to build a business but kept delaying. People who wanted to improve their health but made excuses. They all had the potential to create something incredible, to transform their lives, to make an impact, but they let time slip away. And now they live with the haunting question, what if? What if they had started earlier? What if they had taken action instead of waiting? What if they had used their time wisely instead of wasting it? That question follows them everywhere. And no matter how much they wish they could go back, time does not give second chances. The biggest mistake people make is believing that they have more time than they actually do. They think they have years to figure things out, years to change, years to take action. But life is unpredictable. You don't know how much time you really have. You don't know when your last opportunity will come. You don't know if tomorrow will even arrive. The only guarantee you have is this moment right now. The only certainty is the time that is in front of you. And the question is, what are you doing with it? Are you using it to move forward, to grow, to take steps toward your dreams? Or are you letting it slip through your fingers, assuming that you can make up for it later? Because the harsh reality is, later is never promised. Success, happiness, and fulfillment are not built by those who waste their time. They are built by those who understand its value. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who had the best opportunities or the easiest paths. They are the ones who refuse to waste time. They are the ones who made the decision to act, even when they didn't feel ready. They are the ones who understood that every moment counts, that every day is an opportunity, and that every year wasted is a year they will never get back. The mind is a powerful thing, but it can either be your greatest weapon or your biggest obstacle. The thoughts you choose to believe shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. The problem is that most people live their lives based on lies they have told themselves for years, lies they have absorbed from society, and lies that have been passed down to them by those who never dared to chase their own dreams. These lies are what keep people stuck. They are what prevent people from taking risks, pushing forward, and creating the life they truly want. The most dangerous thing about these lies is that they feel real. They feel like facts, but they are nothing more than illusions designed to keep you playing small. One of the biggest lies people believe is that it's too late to start. They convince themselves that they have missed their chance, that they are too old, that they should have begun years ago. But this is nothing more than an excuse to avoid taking action. The truth is, as long as you are alive, you have time. There are countless stories of people who started late and still achieved greatness. There are people who built empires in their 50s, who found their passion in their 60s, who changed their entire lives in their 70s. The only reason it feels too late is because you keep telling yourself that it is. The reality is, the more time you spend believing this lie, the more time you waste. Every moment you hesitate is a moment that could have been spent moving forward. Another lie that holds people back is the belief that they are not good enough. They look at others who have succeeded and assume that those people had something special, something they themselves don't have. They think they lack the intelligence, the talent, or the natural ability to succeed. But what they fail to see is that success is not about talent, it's about discipline. It's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and refusing to quit. The people who achieve great things are not always the most gifted. They are simply the ones who did not allow self-doubt to stop them. The only way to become good enough is to start. The only way to gain confidence is to take action. Waiting to feel worthy will never work, because worthiness is something you build through effort. Many people also fall into the trap of believing they need the perfect plan before they begin. They think they need to have every step mapped out, every detail figured out, every potential obstacle accounted for. But this need for certainty is what keeps them stuck. No one ever has it all figured out in the beginning. The most successful people did not start with all the answers, they started with action. They learned along the way, they adapted, they made mistakes, and they kept going. The only way to gain clarity is by moving forward. If you wait until you feel 100% ready, you will be waiting forever. Fear of failure is another lie that holds people back. They believe that if they fail, it means they were never meant to succeed. They assume that failure is proof that they are not capable. But failure is not the end, it is a step forward. Every successful person has failed. Every great achievement was built on a foundation of mistakes, setbacks, and struggles. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people do not let failure define them. They see it as part of the process. They use it as a lesson. They understand that failure is temporary, but quitting is permanent. If you let the fear of failure stop you, you are choosing to stay exactly where you are. Perhaps the most dangerous lie of all is the belief that things will change on their own. People convince themselves that one day life will just work itself out. They assume that somehow they will magically become more motivated, that the right opportunity will fall into their lap, that the circumstances will align perfectly for them to take action. But life does not change unless you do. Nothing will ever improve unless you make it improve. Waiting for the right moment is just another way of avoiding responsibility. The truth is, the right moment is the moment you decide to stop believing in these lies and start taking action. Most people live their lives surrounded by distractions. They wake up, check their phones, scroll through social media, watch endless videos, and fill their minds with things that add no real value. Hours pass, then days, then weeks, and before they know it, years have slipped away without any real progress toward their goals. The world is designed to keep you distracted. Companies, platforms, and media outlets thrive on stealing your attention, keeping you entertained just enough to stop you from realizing how much of your time is being wasted. But the truth is, every minute spent on meaningless distractions is a minute taken away from your future. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who have more talent or intelligence, they are the ones who have mastered the ability to focus. They understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they refuse to waste it on things that do not serve them. They know that every hour spent mindlessly consuming content is an hour that could have been spent building, creating, learning, and growing. The difference between success and failure is often not about skill, but about focus. The ability to control where your attention goes determines the results you get in life. The problem is, most people don't realize they are being distracted. They tell themselves they are just taking a break, that they are just unwinding, that they will get back to work in a little while. But that little while turns into hours, then days, then weeks. Distraction is dangerous because it does not feel like a problem in the moment. It feels harmless, it feels like relaxation, but when you look back and see how much time has been lost, you begin to understand the cost. Every successful person has had to make a choice to let distractions control them, or to take control of their focus. Discipline is the key to breaking free from distractions. It is not about completely eliminating entertainment or relaxation, but about being intentional with your time. It is about recognizing when something is stealing your focus and making the conscious decision to step away. It is about setting boundaries, creating routines, and prioritizing what truly matters. The people who achieve great things are not the ones who never watch TV or use social media, but the ones who understand balance. They set limits. They are mindful of their habits. They do not allow distractions to consume them. Many people struggle with distraction because they do not have a clear sense of purpose. When you do not know what you want, it is easy to waste time. When you have no direction, everything seems equally important, and it becomes difficult to focus on what truly matters. But when you have a strong reason to stay focused, distractions lose their power. When your goals are clear, you no longer have time to waste on things that do not bring you closer to them. Purpose creates focus, and focus creates results. Another major cause of distraction is the habit of multitasking. People believe that doing multiple things at once makes them more productive, but in reality, it only makes them less effective. Studies have shown that multitasking reduces efficiency and increases stress. The mind works best when it is focused on one task at a time. The most successful people are not the ones who do everything at once, but the ones who master the ability to focus deeply on one thing, complete it, and move on to the next. They understand that divided attention leads to divided results. It is easy to say that distractions are unavoidable in today's world, but that is just another excuse. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is in how those hours are used. Some people spend their time growing, learning, and building, while others spend it scrolling, watching, and wasting. It is a choice, and that choice determines your future. The harsh reality is that distractions will always be there. Social media will always exist. Entertainment will always be available, but your time will not. You have to decide whether you will take control of your focus or let distractions take control of you. Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to take action. They tell themselves that they'll start when they have more time, when they feel more motivated, when they have everything figured out. But the truth is, the perfect moment will never come. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and reasons to wait. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who wait for ideal circumstances. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty. They understand that waiting leads to nothing, but action leads to progress. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people hesitate. They fear failure, rejection, discomfort, and the unknown. They allow that fear to keep them stuck in the same place year after year. But fear does not disappear on its own. It only loses power when you take action in spite of it. Every successful person has felt fear. The difference is that they did not let it stop them. They moved forward anyway. The only way to overcome fear is to face it. The more you act, the more confident you become. The more risks you take, the stronger you grow. But if you wait until you no longer feel afraid, you will be waiting forever. Another reason people delay action is the illusion of preparation. They believe they need to know everything before they begin. They think they need to take more courses, read more books, and gain more experience before they can start. But preparation without action leads to nothing. Knowledge is useless if it is not applied. The best way to learn is by doing. You do not need to have all the answers, you just need to take the first step. Clarity comes from action, not from overthinking. The most successful people in the world started before they were ready. They figured things out along the way. They made mistakes, learned from them, and kept moving forward. That is how progress is made. Perfectionism is another trap that keeps people from taking action. They believe that if something is not done perfectly, it is not worth doing at all. They want everything to be flawless before they even begin. But perfection is an illusion. Nothing will ever be perfect, and chasing perfection only leads to procrastination. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who wait until things are perfect. They are the ones who start messy, improve as they go, and refine over time. They understand that progress is more important than perfection. Taking imperfect action is always better than taking no action at all. There are many people also convince themselves that small actions don't matter. They believe that if they can't make big changes immediately, there is no point in trying. But success is built on small, consistent actions. Every great achievement is the result of daily effort. The most successful people in the world did not reach their goals overnight. They showed up every single day, even when they didn't feel like it. They took small steps, made gradual improvements, and stayed committed. Small actions compound over time. What seems insignificant today can lead to massive results in the future. The key is consistency. Comfort is another reason people avoid action. It is easy to stay where things feel safe and familiar. It is easy to follow the same routine, even if it is not bringing you closer to your goals. But nothing great ever comes from comfort. Growth only happens when you step outside of what is familiar and challenge yourself. The most successful people are not the ones who had the easiest path, they are the ones who embraced discomfort. They pushed through obstacles, faced setbacks, and kept going when things got tough. They understood that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of taking action last forever. At the end of the day, the biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. One group takes action and the other doesn't. It is not about luck, intelligence, or talent. It is about having the courage to start, the discipline to keep going, and the persistence to push through challenges. The only way to change your life is to take action now, not tomorrow, not someday, now.